Hi friends, welcome to Stitches and Starlight. My name is Tashiana, but you can call me Tashi because that's what all my friends do, and we're friends now. Welcome to my corner of the internet where we talk about what I'm knitting and sewing and weaving and spinning. Oh my gosh, so much spinning. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for clicking on this thumbnail. There are so many voices clamoring for your attention on the internet, and you decided to give my chaotic bubble a go. That makes you a rad human. And if you're a returning viewer, you already know what time it is. Thanks for being here. We are not doing a formal podcast today. I am doing the not finished object. Nonsense. I'm doing the project bag audit that I said I was going to film last year and I totally forgot about. So I'm doing it now. So we're going to do a project bag work in progress audit. I have eight project bags on the floor next to me. I'm not promising to finish all of them this year because that would be nonsensical and that would also be stretching myself way too thin. But I'm a huge fan. You guys, if you're not watching Kayla at the Marissa Made podcast, fix your life. Get your life. Go do it. But I'm a huge fan of Kayla at the Marissa Made podcast, and I loved her work in progress project bag audit situation. And what she did was she assigned them 3 categories. So I went ahead and I did the same thing. My 3 categories are, in terms of finished, 1, so close I can taste it. 2, oh, we're halfway there. And 3, Tashi, this is still a cast on. And so what I've decided to do was if it was like less than 30%, 33.333 if we must be exact. If it was less than like 30% done, Tashi, this is still a cast on. If it was between 33.33 blah, 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 and 66,666, then, oh, we're halfway there. And if it was beyond that, then we're just going to go so close I can taste it. And we're going to go through all of these. I'm going to talk to you about these projects, what I've been knitting, I don't even know if I remember when I cast a lot of these on, because when I tell you some of them have not been touched in a full year, it's a problem. So we're going to quickly jump right in. This is not going to be as long as a podcast because this shouldn't take me as long, but also no promises. I'm a chaos gremlin. Let's go. So we're going to start with the ones that are mostly done. So we'll start with the one I've actually already shown you and I've already talked to you about. This is my sad sweater. This is also, spoiler alert, this is an Andrea Mowry Stan account. If you didn't know that, you know now. The amount of Andrea Mowry patterns on the floor that I've started and have not finished is legendary. It's probably not legendary. I was talking to my friend Meg, and at one point she had 30 whips, and I was like, how dare you? Go fix your life. So yes, but I do have a lot of Andrea Mowry whips. So we've already talked about this one. We're going to talk about it again. This is my Illuminate. It's not the Illuminate. Wow, Tashi, go back to bed and try again. This is the Metamorphic sweater. Oh, child. Hello. This is the Metamorphic sweater by Andrea Mowry. I am knitting mine I'm not going to get over that. I'm going to be laughing about that for a week. I'm going to be knitting mine. I'm already knitting mine. I'm so sorry if this is your first time here. I'm just going to say that outright. If this is your first time clicking on a video, I am normally more organized than this. Not by much, but I'm normally more organized than this. This is the Metamorphic sweater by Andrea Mowry. I'm knitting mine out of Harrisville Nightshades in the color Last Call, and then my contrast color is Handspun. I talked a lot about this on episode 1 of the podcast. I will also, if I have a Ravelry project page, which I don't for most of these, but if I do have a Ravelry project page, I will link them in the description box. But here's where we are. So here's what it looks like. You can really appreciate that handspun in there. And part of the reason why this isn't finished is I failed at the bind off. I still haven't picked it up and fixed it. But I failed at the bind off. I bound it off too tightly. And then when I went to put it on, I broke it. So I need to go in and pick up stitches, like maybe 2 or 3 rows from the bind off, knit 2 or 3 rows of ribbing, bind it off again, and then just knit the sleeves, which is really not a lot of knitting. It's the idea of picking back up this bind off that is really the reason I haven't done it yet. I'm honestly considering doing the sleeves first. So then really all I have to do is do this bind off, and I might actually make myself do it if I do the sleeves first, because gosh darn it, this is pretty. And I would live in this. It's the Nightshades and Daylights yarn line by Harrisville is a Cormo American wool blend. It's so soft. It's unbelievably soft. Here's a little bit of my handspun. Here's a little bit of it. I still have 500 more yards of this. Like, I have more than enough. And then this is the nightshades. And if you're not familiar with nightshades and daylights, well, actually, there is another project that I just don't have in a bag. I just remembered. Woo! There we go. The nightshades and the daylights are a black base and a white base. And then there's like flecks. I don't know how they did it because they didn't dye it. I don't know what they did, but it's a white base and a black base, and then it just has like hints of color over top. So Last Call is a black yarn with a blue over top, so it reads dark blue. So that's my metamorphic sweater. My other sweater that is in the So Close I Can Taste It category is what this. I'm almost ashamed that this is still in a project bag. I cast this on in January of 2021, and we are in the year of our Lord 2023, and it's still not finished. I honestly don't know why. I don't know why it's not finished. I need to just finish it. It's so close. It's so close. Okay, so I'm going to show it to you. This is the Andre Maury Spark cardigan. It is Spark, right? The cardigan Spark, because the pullover is Sparky. Yes, this is the Spark cardigan. I literally have finished the whole body. I have started attaching my sleeves, and I'm at the decreases, which is where it's supposed to get faster. So I don't know why I'm not done with it. It's literally at the point where it's going to be faster and the rounds are going to get shorter and shorter, and I'm being a ninny and not finishing it. I started this before I was comfortable spinning, because I cast it on in January of 2021. So I'm actually knitting this from Spin Cycle. I think this is Shades of Earth. Yeah. So this is Dream State in Shades of Earth. And then my main color is a yarn that I had gotten from Webs on sale. It's Cloudborne Limited Edition Wool Worsted in the color Ecru. It's a non-superwash, like, I think it's Peruvian. It's just like a basic, like, white, I guess, cream wool. And I love this. Like, look at this. Look at these sleeves. It's so pretty. And I actually knit this twice. And I think I know the reason why I stalled out on this. I knit this twice because you knit the sleeves first. And when I first cast this on, I didn't know anything about color dominance and color work. And if you want to look up color dominance and color work, Brooklyn Tweed has a series of very good articles on color dominance and color work. And I had knit, the motif down here, and the motif up here, the 1 by 1, wasn't doing it for me. And I realized that I was holding it opposite for color dominance. So because I knit left to right, I hold the color that I want to be dominant in my right hand, and I hold my background color in my left hand. And what I was doing was I was just holding the color that I knit the most stitches of in my right hand, because that's how I'm used to knitting. So I was actually holding the background color in my right hand, and I was holding the dominant color in my left hand. So it was making the white background color dominant over the color work. And so it was making me really sad, because I didn't think it was giving, the Spin Cycle due justice. And this is an expensive sweater because of how much Spin Cycle costs. And so I ended up ripping back all the sleeves and knitting the sleeves again. So I knit the sleeves again, and then I did the body of the sweater correctly. This is really pretty. I need to finish it. I want it on my body. So all I need to do is finish all the decreases, steek it, and do the shawl collar. That is definitely less than 30% of the work. I mean, most of this is already done. And I'm hoping to have it. I actually might pick this back up this weekend. Now that I'm looking at all these projects, I'm like really energized. I might pick this back up this weekend and see if I can make some progress on it. The decreases is the other reason that I think I stalled out on it, is the decreases just require you to like read a chart to know how many decreases you're supposed to work per round. And it's not just like, decrease every other round. It's like a very specific way of doing it. So I need to just like put on an audiobook and like zen out and get it done. So my last project that is So Close I Can Taste It are a pair of hand spun fingerless mitts. And I cast these on at Rhinebeck last year. Because everyone was at Rhinebeck with a project, and I had no whips at the time. First of all, that's nonsense, because there's a million whips on the floor. But I didn't think I had any whips that were like, good for festival knitting. Like I didn't have any socks, which is a lie. I did have socks on the needles, but I didn't have any like socks or anything else. So I decided to just start something. So this is This is the Pearl Soho Arch Gusset mittens. And that's what these look like. And I'm not planning on knitting them like mitten. I was planning on knitting them to fingerless mittens. So these are like, this particular mitten's done. I can't put my thumb in this. I was trying to put it on, but I can't put my thumb in this. This particular mitten's done. I'm just going to do, I wasn't even going to do ribbing at the top. I kind of wanted to just have them have a rolled hem like they do down here. So I think my plan was to knit like 4 or 5 more rounds of this and then just do ribbing on the thumb. So this one's done. Now, technically that would make them 50% done, but also like, that's super quick. I knit this whole mitten in one day at Rhinebeck. If I can knit a whole mitt in one day at Rhinebeck, I can knit a second one. And this is hand spun. It's my cake is gross. It looks like it's been through it. This is BFL and silk. It's in the color, I mean, I'm telling you, this cake looks like it's seen Jesus. It's in the color River Rocks by Crafted by Locals. And I did a 3-ply fractal spin for DK weight yarn and then just stashed it and did nothing with it. So I was like, cool, it'll make really good mittens because it's BFL and silk. So it's super soft. And because it's fractal, it has that really fun, gentle color changing in it. I'm really happy with those. So those are my 3 so close I can taste it projects. From here, it just descends into madness. I'm going to go get the project that I forgot about that's not in a bag, and then we'll continue. Okay, so moving into the, oh, we're halfway there. And it is, I almost call this section Living on a Prayer because I was like, and then I was like, no, that's like too obtuse. So we're halfway there, which in actuality is like a falsehood because we're 33.3% of the way there. So there you go. This is getting super washed out. This is the Favorite Flannel by Alicia Plummer, and I'm knitting this out of Harrisville Daylights, which is the white base counterpart to Nightshades. This is the color Bloodshot, which is like their red base, but it reads a little bit pink. Also on camera, it just reads white, so there you go. But in person, it has like a slight pink tone to it. And this is a raglan. It's a textured raglan. There it is. So it's a textured raglan. It's like broken rib, but it's like 3 rows of stockinette between each row of rib instead of it being like a 1x1 broken rib. There's cats running around everywhere. If they knock over my camera, I might start screaming. So here it is. It's a 3x1 broken rib. I have split for the sleeves and I've moved on to the body and then just didn't work on this. And it's at the point where it's easy because there's no increases. There's none of that like weird stuff to do. There's nothing to keep track of. It's literally just knitting. These cats are wild. It's literally just knitting in the round and then picking up for sleeves. Also, this is why I can't find any of my Hello Lavender stitch markers or progress keepers. I have a Hello Lavender. Here it is. I have a Hello Lavender. Where is it though? I have a Hello Lavender progress keeper and a Hello Lavender stitch marker in this project. Nope, you're not gonna be able to see that one. It's like a little stack of books. There it is. And this is why I can't find any when I go to start new projects. So what that is telling me, what the universe is telling me, is that I should stop starting new projects and I should finish these, because if I don't have, I have so many Hello Lavender stitch markers and progress keepers, and if I don't have any to put in my new projects, then that means I have too many new projects and I should stop starting new projects. I will not stop starting new projects. So that's the Favorite Flannel by Alicia Plummer. There is none of these that I'm interested in frogging, to be quite honest. I am very much invested in finishing all of them. We'll just see when I get there. So, oh, a sock. So again, another Andrea Mowry pattern. I spun for this when she was doing the DRK Everyday Spin to Knit Along. A Sal-Cal. A Sal-Cal is a spin along, knit along. And I had spun for these when everyone was spinning for them. And I spun a Corriedale 3-ply yarn. I don't remember the colorway of this, but it's a 3 Waters Farm, Cyclical Reckoning. That's what it's called. It's a 3 Waters Farm colorway. I had spun for the yarn. I cast on 1 sock. And this is as far as I got. I have 2 cakes. So what I did was I split both cakes. So I have 2 cakes. I split it evenly before I started knitting because I think I had like 350 yards and I didn't want to run out of yarn for the second one. So my plan was just to knit until I ran out of yarn. I think part of why I stalled out on these is I don't really enjoy knitting socks on Magic Loop. I've learned that I don't enjoy knitting socks on Magic Loop. I've also learned that I really like 10-inch circulars because I am flying through a pair of socks right now. So when those needles are empty, I'm actually going to move this to a 10-inch circular needle and see if I make more progress that way. The cat is just doing zoomies, like literally back and forth. She's running through the living room, into the kitchen, back into the living room, and then back into the bedroom, and I have no idea what she's chasing. And then she like makes eye contact with me every single time she does it. So if I keep looking away, it's because I'm trying to figure out what my cat is doing and how to make her stop it before she knocks over my camera. So you guys send help. Yes, I'm going to move these to 10-inch circular needles, and then we'll see. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like I might be at the part where I should start doing the increases for the Fleagle heel. I have to measure this again. But also, look how fun that is. So I spun this as a 3-ply fractal, which is like my favorite way to spin yarn. So you're getting those really fun stripes. And it's Corriedale, so it has like a nice handle to it. I think it's going to make a really good sock. That ribbing is like super squishy. I just don't like Magic Loop. And I think that's also why so many of my sleeve projects stall, is because Magic Loop is just not, I do it, but I don't enjoy doing it. But now that I know I like small needles, the world is my oyster. The universe is like available to me. Switching all of my stuff. I wonder, now I have to get a bunch of 5-inch circular like cords so I can move all my socks. Am I a sock knitter, you guys? Is this happening? Like, are you guys watching this happen in real time? Are you guys watching me become a sock knitter in real time? Am I going to have like 5 pairs of socks by the end of 2023? Stay tuned. Okay, so next project is, I think this is the ranunculus. This is my ranunculus on, also, here's the other way I know I have too many whips. I have 5 sets, 5 of these clover sleeve holders. I don't like putting my stitches on waste yarn. It's not something that I enjoy doing because I find it really hard. I also need to apparently invest in needle stoppers before I throw projects in project bags, because I am losing stitches right here. I will show this to you after I pick up the stitches that I've lost. There we go. So note to self, needle stoppers before you put sweaters in a bag would be ideal. Okay, so I was saying I have 5 pairs of these clover stitch holders, and I don't enjoy putting sleeve stitches on waste yarn because I find them hard to pick them up. Sometimes I'll put them on like the 8-inch interchangeable cable from ChowGoo, and then that way when I go to knit them, then I just have to attach needles to the cable, but then I was running out of cables because I have too many whips. But I have 5 sets of these, and I literally don't have one for my sheep camp sweater, which means I have too many whips and they're all out. Why do I have 5 whips with like on sleeves? It doesn't make any sense. So this is the ranunculus. Actually, I think this is in the wrong category. I should have moved this to So Close I Can Taste It. This one also has a Hello Lavender Progress Keeper and a Hello Lavender Stitch Marker. I'll show them to you because they're pretty close. So here is the Progress Keeper, and here, right here is the Stitch Marker. And this is why I can't find them, because there's 2 in this sweater, there's 2 in that sweater, there's 3 in the other sweater. I can't find any of them. This is probably better suited to So Close I Can Taste It, because I don't know if I'm putting sleeves on it. Like, I don't know how long the sleeves are, and I'm almost done with the body of this. I don't know why I didn't make any, why didn't I finish this? Why am I like this? Okay, I'm going to finish it. So here's my ranunculus. It's my first ranunculus. Everyone and their mama has knit a ranunculus by now. I'm making mine out of Nutiden in the color Kvarts. Nutiden is Swedish. And so all their colors are in Swedish, and I don't speak Swedish. So here is what's left of, I actually might put sleeves on this because I can't remember if this was my first or my second ball. I can't remember. I have to go back and look at how much Nutiden I have left because it's not in the project bag, which it would make sense to put the yarn in the project bag so you know how much of the yarn you have left. Correct. Correct. So anyways, this is either 100 grams or 200 grams, but I think this is 100 grams. I honestly don't know. I'm knitting it out of 2 strands of Newton held, like 2 strands of Newton held double is the most redundant thing I've ever said in my entire life. I'm knitting it from 2 strands of Newton on 10.5s. So, wow, that is a big needle. My word. And it's just, it's literally a cloud. It's so soft. I mean, if you like woolly wool, you'll like Newton. I don't find it toothy. I can wear it next to skin with no issue, but I'm also not sensitive to wool. This is just, it's so nice. I'm still trying to decide what length to knit this to, if I'm going to knit it as cropped as it is in the pattern. Because it's so oversized, I actually think I wanted to make it really cropped and then throw it over dresses or like over a tank top with like high-waisted jeans. So looking at this, it looks like I have, like estimating, I probably have 5 inches of this body knit. So I might knit 3 more inches of the body to get 8 inches and then do an inch of ribbing and bind it off. So I'm actually really close to this. Never mind, I might pick this up before I pick up my Spark because I'm much closer to finishing this than I am with the Spark cardigan. And then I'll just decide what to do about sleeves. Like I'll try it on and decide what to do about sleeves based on how much yarn I have left. I'm thinking like an elbow length sleeve, not like full length. I'm thinking an elbow length sleeve. And then I'm just going to have a fluffy cloud to wear. So there's that, which is definitely more fitted for the So Close I Could Taste It category. I did not put that in the right pile. So that's the Ranunculus, by Midori Heroes, which again, everyone's probably knit like 5 of these by now. And the other pattern I have in So Close I Can Taste, not So Close I Can Taste It, we're halfway there, is the Felix Pullover by Amy Christophers. And actually, I don't know if I'm keeping this sweater. I'm going to be perfectly honest. This is the first garment that I cast on. And I honestly don't know why I didn't make any more progress on it, but looking at it, I'm going to have to double check gauge because I don't remember if I did a gauge swatch on this. I didn't take any notes on it. So I don't remember if I did a gauge swatch. So if I didn't do a gauge swatch, I have no idea if this is going to fit me. So I got to look at it. I'm going to check actually I might block this. I might block this and see if it's on gauge. And if it is on gauge, then I'll keep working on it. I think that's probably what I'm going to do is block this. I'm knitting this out of Let Lopey. Let Lopey in the color, I don't know. They only put numbers on this. It's green. And here's what it looks like. I can't, did this have short rows? Honestly, I probably should frog it. Because it was one of the first things I knit, it just doesn't look good. It doesn't hold up well. There's like gaps back here. I think this was supposed to be a short row and I just didn't know how to work short rows at the time. It's a very airy gauge, which I think the Felix Pullover is supposed to be an airy gauge, but it also feels too airy. I did a tubular cast on for this neckline. Excuse me, who was she? And that's actually a pretty tidy tubular cast on. I don't know what to do with this now. I think I'm going to block it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to block it. And see if I am on gauge. And if I am on gauge, I might just finish it. It looks like I've done all the raglan, like all the eyelet increases. I'd have to double check the pattern. I can't remember how many, but it looks like I have like a solid amount of them done. So I'm probably closer to finishing this, like finishing and separating for sleeves than I think I am. It's hard to decide. Now that I'm looking at this, I'm like, I should have made this decision before we started. I don't want to frog it. I'm going to block it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to block it and then I'll update you on what I've decided after I block it. But this is the Felix Pullover by Amy Christophers. This is definitely in the we're halfway there pile unless it's getting frogged, and then it's in the nothing pile because it'll be a pile of yarn. But that's what that is. I have a bunch of project bags. I probably should show them to you, but they're from miscellaneous sources. This one's one of my favorites because it just has little foxes in the dark. And then I have like a Nightmare Before Christmas one. And I have this one that has little alpacas and they're wearing like flower wreaths. Nope, you can't see that. Oh yeah, little alpacas and they're wearing like little flower wreaths on their heads. I get all my project bags on Etsy. But I really should just start sewing my own because I know how to sew. So I should start sewing my own project bags. So that is that. We're just going to do the last two. And the last two are, Tashi, this is still a cast on because, wow, these are indeed still cast-ons. So the first one is actually the Illuminate sweater. Haha, I got it right this time. And when I show you how far I got on these, you guys are gonna laugh. Where's the back of this? First of all, I'm in the middle of a round, which is ridiculous. Here's how far I got. This is my whole sweater. Oh, you guys, I laugh at myself so you can laugh at me. This is terrible. This is how far I got. I cast this on for the Rhinebeck sweater knit along in 2021 because last year's sweater was Alpenglow. And then this is how far I got. And I'm almost ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Listen, I'm not ashamed. Knitting should never make you feel bad. Don't let knitting make you feel bad. When I say I'm ashamed, this is an expensive sweater. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm knitting mine from Spin Cycle because when I cast this on, I was not comfortable enough with my spinning to like spin a sweater quantity. So I'm knitting this from Spin Cycle. The Spin Cycle color I'm using is Wololo. So here's what, can I get a cake out of here? Okay, here's what a cake of it looks like. So here's a cake of Wololo. In their dyed in the wool, their sport weight base. And then my mohair is Magpie Fibers. It's the Bougie Beaver. I'm pretty sure it's a Bougie Beaver colorway, and here is the mohair. So I'm knitting this pretty much out of the things that Andrea Mowry recommended, and I remember when I ordered yarn for this, my cart total was over $300, and it made my heart hurt a little bit, but I was like, no, I'm committing. I really want the fun sweater that Andrea Mowry's knitting, and I want it. And I started it, and there's nothing wrong with the knitting. I honestly just think I got distracted. I put it in a bag and I forgot about it. There's literally nothing wrong. I remember this being a dream to knit. It is so stinking pretty. Like, I just need to get it done so I could wear it because it's going to be really nice. I gauge swatched for this thing and everything. I remember what I did, and I'm really happy that I did it. I actually marked repeats. So what I do for colorwork repeats that are like 16 stitches, if it's longer than 10 stitches, I mark repeats. So I have little, I don't know if you can see those, but I have little round stitch markers in every 16 stitches to mark the repeat to help me keep track. And it's absolutely beautiful. I am 100% going to finish this. I think in terms of like tackling whips, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to do ranunculus first and then spark, and then I'm coming to this next. My goal is to eventually outgrow the tiny project bag it's in, but there's no knitting in here, so it's in a very small bag. This is by Hidori Handmade. No, not Hidori, Hikari. This is by Hikari Handmade. You can follow her on Instagram or on Etsy. I love her project bags. They all have, it literally says her name here. I don't know what my problem is. They all have this like fun woodland, like woodlandsy vibe, and they're really well made. They're really nice canvas, a really nice handle. So that is my Illuminate. It is. That's my Illuminate pullover. And the last project bag, well, first of all, this one comes with a story because I had lost this. I feel like I told you guys a while ago that there was a project that I lost. I was attempting to reclaim. I found it, and it is, I was pretty sure I had made more progress on this than I thought I did, and I was wrong. I was very wrong. So my last project is the Trove sweater, and this was released in Pom Pom, I want to say in like 2019 or something like that. You guys, when I tell you I've made, this is, oh, I laugh at myself. Feel free to laugh at me. This is how far I got. That's it. Just this. This is as far as I got. So this is a drop shoulder sweater, and what you're looking at is the cast on. This is literally the cast on edge, and I knit maybe like 12 rows, not even rounds, 12 rows. I'm knitting this out of the yarn it was designed in, which is like, I think it's, oh, I do have, it's Ulysses. It's Ulysses. What brand is this? I'll have to put it on the screen somewhere. But I got it at Shop La Mercerie. This is the yarn the pattern is written for. And I have, here's my stripes. So you've seen 3 of the colors. Actually, the only color that's not in there yet is this blue. So here's the other color. This is going to be the 4th stripe. And it is a striped mosaic knit drop shoulder pullover. All the samples are beautiful. It's a great looking sweater. It's sport weight, so it's not quite knitting on toothpicks, but it's not quite like you know, decay weight. Although I'm looking at my needles and I'm knitting this on US 4s, and I'm wondering if that's why I put it in a bag and never picked it back up. So anyways, this is my last work in progress. And honestly, I'm not sure if this was much of an audit, because my audit was, I want to finish all of them, except maybe the Felix. The Felix one I do really need to like think hard about. And I think blocking is going to be the way to go. But after that, the only audit I did was, why didn't I finish them? How long will it take me to finish them? Am I finishing them this year? That's it. I'm not frogging any of these. I'm very committed to, that's the thing about me, is like, if I commit, once I get to the point where I start a project, the odds of me like abandoning that project are not very high, because I don't start projects willy-nilly. I think about starting projects willy-nilly. I buy yarn for projects willy-nilly, as evidence by the Mets this. I buy yarn for projects willy-nilly. I buy patterns. Woo. I buy patterns without even thinking, but I don't actually cast on. So once I get to the cast on stage, I'm actually really committed to a project and I really want to follow through. So the odds of me frogging something, unless unless my like yarn project pairing is not great or I'm not on gauge, it's not very high. It's not that I'm just be like, oh, I don't like this anymore, because I really, really, really do think hard about the things I make before I start making them. So that's it, you guys. Yeah, I think I'm going to work on my ranunculus maybe next week. I also cast on 2 projects yesterday. So I think a total, if I count all of these as active whips, there's 8 of these. I cast on 2 more yesterday. I have like 5 ongoing. Whip it up and whip it good, you guys. That's it. That's all I got. Whip it up, whip it good. Do what makes you happy. If casting on all the things, if you have cast-on-itis like I do, and casting on all the things makes you happy, do the things that bring you joy. Don't ever let knitting make you feel bad. Okay, that's it, you guys. I will see you guys next week for a traditional podcast, so I'll get to show you what I've been making. I've been spinning up a storm. Can't wait to show it to you. Can't wait to share it to you. Share it to you. Can't wait to show it to you and share it with you. I haven't had coffee yet for the day. It's my day off, and it's 1:05 and I haven't had coffee, and clearly that was a mistake. So I can't wait to share it with you next time. But that's it. Do what brings you joy. Go make something. I love you. Bye for now.